and I always like to repeat because it's interesting. The more we hear the pay plan, the more comfortable we are with. One of the things that I love about our pay plan that it is simple. It was created in a way that everybody is benefited. I'm going to share my screen. Let me make sure that YouTube is working. I didn't see it. Oh yeah, it's perfect. Okay, perfect. Okay, very short story. When I started in network marketing, I didn't understand network marketing, by the way. The first time that I was approached, I was probably just out of high school. I was 18 years old, and this was in South America. And I was with a friend of mine walking in the street, and we were working, my friend and I, we were part-time. We were going to college, but we were also selling books door to door. And we were so dressed up with our suit and our tie, walking in the street, coming out of a training, and then a Camaro stopped. And a guy with you could see a gold Rolex and all stuff come out of the car. And then he said, guys, what if you can find a way where you can make a lot of money? And my friend and I, we look at each other and I joke and say, who do we have to kill? No, no, this is legal. This is legal. I was joking. And the guy told us, there's a way that, guys, you have the present. I think you can be super successful. Here is my car. And what is your phone number? And then we give our phone numbers, and the guy left. And then my friend and I said, well, that was weird because he didn't say anything, but we gave our phone numbers. Both of us were 18 years old. I got a call that night, and the guy said, we have an event that's going on. And I have a long story about the event. I'm going to do the short story. And I would like to pick you up on Saudi, and it's going to be a 2 days event. 2 days event. And they called my friend too. He called my friend. Of course, my dad, when I told him, he said, no, the guy probably is going to kidnap you. Who knows? Who the heck is this guy? And his dad said the same thing. And then Saturday morning, like 7 in the morning, my dad woke me up. And then he said, you had to go. And the guy was waiting there with my friend. He convinced my dad. And later I found out that he knew, the guy that was there knew some people that my dad knew too, and then they call it that person, etc. And I went to that event. Okay, that was my first, it was a 2-day experience with network marketing. It was with a company called Dare to Be Great from Florida, or Cosmetic, not Costco, Costa Cosmetics too, because they have 2 lines. And that was in Florida. And as a matter of fact, the castle still is there on Orlando, Florida. And that was a big company, etc. But eventually it was shut down. And that was the first time there was a law against pyramids. And they were the scapegoats, and they shut them down. That was before Amway beat the FTC. That was before the FTC won. And then, of course, I thought that there were pyramids. I didn't get to enjoy it a lot and anything like that. It was 3,000 to get in the late 70s or early 80s. Can you imagine? But anyway, and that was it. My only experience. I came to the US, and somebody was in Amway. As many of you know what Amway. He invited me to an event. He didn't tell me what it was, and was Amway. I was invited to 5 events. None of them were telling me what it was, and every case was Amway. I was saying, "I sure it's Amway." No, it's not. And when I was getting there, it was Amway. Not that I have anything against Amway, but that was funny the way. But that was the first experience that I had. And then the first experience that I had. But anyway, the first time that I really saw it was when I saw the article in Success Magazine about network marketing. I called several ads, and one of them sent me a video. Now, interesting, he was in California. I was in Florida at the time. I talked to the guy in the morning, probably like 10 o'clock, and he said, yeah, I'm sending you a video. And by 4 o'clock, somebody knocked on my door with a video. I said, whoa, that's fast service. And it's because he had somebody in his downline in Cape Coral, where I was living. And the guy gave me a VHS video. It was 1 hour. And probably about 30 minutes, he was talking about the numbers. And I was fascinated with the numbers. I say, whoa, because say if you bring five, and was they're using five, if you bring five, just bring five, it's 25, and 125, and 625, 3,125, then let's round it up, 15,000, and then 45,000 people. And when you add all that, it's 60,000 people. And then what happened? Even if 10% stays, 6,000, you are going to become millionaire. And I said, wow, the numbers work. And I got in. That was my first network marketing company. But I didn't do well because for a reason, I was new. But what I mean, but the numbers is what got me. And also the example that they show, it didn't work because the pay plan. When we talk about numbers, the numbers works because the pay plan. And I'm going to talk about that now. Let me share my screen. This is gonna be fun. Maybe because I like numbers. All right, string compensation plan, and you have seen this slide, but I want to repeat some things that are here. The cool thing about the plan is there's no limits. And by the way, it's hard to believe sometimes there are no limits because the products you say, well, these are products that are 50 bucks, 60 bucks, 100 bucks. How can you make a lot of money on that? Because it's based on volumes. A lot of people doing the small things. In the company I was before, we earned several $1 million, and the reason was because we have a huge team. We didn't sponsor. We had close to 1 million people, but we didn't sponsor 1 million people. We sponsored in 15 years about 150 or 140, something like that. I don't remember exactly the number, and they reproduced into close to 1 million people. That's why we were making a lot of money. A lot of people doing the small things. Some of them were using just $100 in products. Some people were selling $100. Some people were buying a little more. But that's the way that we make the money. Now, in our pay plan is cool because we have different ways to make money. And it's like picking up coins. First you do this, second you do this, third you do this. Now, the first one is very easy. You earn 25% commission on everything that you sell. These are people that are not in the team. These are customers. A customer, and you get a link when you send one of your links from your app or from your page or to the product, or they go to the website, then you get 25%. You share the link. Let's suppose that somebody asks you, and you are in social media, as a matter of fact, and you send a private link to the person, only the person buy, and you get 25%. And it's paid next day, except days there are no banks. Saturday and Sunday, obviously, you don't get paid. But you get paid the next day, 25%. That's really cool. Very simple. No complications. You don't have to get certain qualifications. It's just a flat 25%. The reason I like is because it's simple. Many companies that have affiliate programs or sell retails programs, they have different steps. First, you make like 10%, then you have X amount of customers, you get to the next step, to the next step. Now, ours is very simple, 25% to everybody, and you get paid every the next day. That's why I call it daily commissions. Very simple. Nothing magic there. Somebody buy, you get commission. Somebody buy, you get commission. The next one is the PIB. We have different packages. We have right now I don't have the new picture of the package, but the Mother's Day package is ideal. But each package has different prices. Now, a person can start with the Pro Pack. That's the best because you get more points. And then you also qualify for 11 months. You don't have to buy products to be you don't have to be in Smart Ship, for example, for 11 months. But then we have other packages. As I understand, some people, they don't have the $2,800, but you say, hey, we have another package that is half the cost and has several of the products too. Has all the products. I have to change the picture. I just realized that that's the old picture, but it has all the new products too. Then the premium pack has every product but one of them, of each one, and then the other package is a selection of products. But anyway, the reason I'm talking about the packs, this is the PIB, or product introduction bonus. This is when somebody said, I want to do what you're doing, I want to join. And you get a PIB, simple. Okay, and by the way, this is paid weekly. For these two, by the way, to the sales, and for this one, you don't have to be even active. If you just came with the $30 because you didn't have any money at all for real, that by the way, it's hard to believe because when I started network marketing, I sold my microwave, my color TV, and I borrowed $300 to buy the big package that they have at the time because I didn't have any money. But let's suppose for some reason the person come only with the $30. They still make money by selling here and by the PIB. Those are the two forms that they still make money even if they are not active. This is very important to keep in mind. By the way, the sales, when they sell somebody, let's suppose that the sales has 100 points in volume, that volume is credited to that person that's selling it, like if he or she bought the products. That just selling keep them active too. This is interesting to keep in mind. Now, and there are different rewards now. For example, brand ambassador, when you are in a smart ship for 6 months, you get a certificate for $100. That's cool that you can use their products. Customers, every time they spend $300, doesn't matter if one time in one order or consecutive orders, they get $33 reward certificates. Customer referrals, let's suppose that one of your customers refers somebody. Remember, they are not in the tree, they cannot make money, they are just customers. They get a 10% certificate. By the way, the people that they refer when he or she buy, you get a full commission because they cannot get it, but you do it, even that you didn't refer that person. This is so cool. But these are the certificates, extra certificate, and we have always a different promotion that happen. But we are going to talk just about the basic. Now, the cycle. This is the first one that's really cool. People say, why don't you use a straight commission like 5% or 4% or 3% or 100%, whatever? Why you use cycles? Cycles was a super smart way to make sure that we get paid not in levels, but on volume. Because in every company or most companies use network marketing, they have levels. They have the first level, the second level, the third level. The challenge with that for us, for a company, it doesn't matter. For us, is that if somebody comes, let's suppose in the 7 or 8 level, we never get one penny on that person because it's below our pay level. Now, it's even worse. In those pay plans, to qualify for all the levels, you have to get to certain ranks. Usually, when you start, you are qualifying only for 1 or 2 levels. That means that any volume that comes below, if you are not qualified by the end of the 30 days, poof, you never get that money. It's not accumulated or anything like that. Okay, and let me change the screen to show you what I mean. Okay. All right. Okay, hold on a second. I'm going to share my other screen. And let me move it here. All right. This is one of my favorite things to show. Um, oh, it's not. You cannot watch it? That's weird. Here. Okay, let me get out of here because that's weird. It's not happening. Let me share again. Share screen. Okay, it's not working, the share button. That's weird. That happened to me once, and there was no reason to happen. Okay, screen. Okay. Yeah, it's not coming. I can see you cannot see the okay. Let me do something. I'm gonna get out of here and it come back in a second. Anyway, yeah, for some reason it's not working the button. That happened to me like 2 months ago, and it's happening again. Okay, let's share my screen. Share screen. That is the same bug that bugged me last time. I just got out there. Okay, that's not it. All right, hold on a second. Let me try one more time because one more time. I'm gonna start singing here. That is weird. I'm gonna have to use the slides only. Or maybe I have to use this one that I didn't want to use. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay, it's right in there. This is the whiteboard from Zoom, but I don't like it. Okay, you have one person on your left and one person on your right. Left, right. Our team, our pay plan has only two sides. It's not like many plans that you're building wide and you have everybody has to be wide. Uh, Oops. You see, that's why I don't like it because it's not totally. But anyway, here you have only two legs, left and right. When you have two legs, you create two banks, left bank and right bank. When one bank hit 300 points and the other one 600, that's 900, you get what is called a cycle. By the way, it could be 600 and 300. The reason was created this is because the computer, what it's going to look is for volume. Doesn't matter how deep it is. That's a big advantage on our pay plan. You don't have levels. That means that somebody can come very deep in your organization and you are going to cut that volume. The other thing is, and I'm going to write it here, no levels. Very important. The computer is looking just for volume. Doesn't matter how deep it comes. That's very. You do not lose no volume loss. I'm gonna put it like that. Okay, no volume lost. Okay, what that means is as long as you are on 60 points, or it's around 110, $120, the volume keep accumulating. In other plans, like this one, for example, at the end of the month, the next month, the first of the month, start from zero. You have to requalify again. All the volume that you didn't qualify, let's suppose that you are getting paid only in two levels, but there's volume below, everything goes to zero. Here, as long as you have volume and you are active with 60 CV, then the volume gets accumulated. That means that you can have thousands in one leg, and let's suppose that this leg have 10,000 CVs, and it's there. Why is so powerful? Because eventually you could have some for everybody. Every time you get 300 in this side, guess what? You are collecting because you already have a lot of 600s here in this side. That means that you get 300 here, you pull from those 10,000. You get 300 here. The reason it's powerful because one day somebody can come here and goes crazy, and he or she starts putting so much volume and is going to use all that volume that in other companies it would have gone to zero. You never lose that volume, doesn't have a time limit or anything like that. That's the beautiful thing. And the cycle is worth between 35. Okay, all right. This is why I don't like well, 35. Okay, 35 and $45. The difference is when you have 10 people that you sponsor, that could be a combination of customers and BAs or just BAs or your customers, you get $45. And you can get up to 600 cycles per week, a week. That in dollars, with the $45, is $27,000 week, or 1.4 million a year. This is a year, weekly. Okay. And anyway, you see this is very powerful. And let me tell you why. In other companies, when you start, it seems simple. You start sponsoring people, but the higher you go, the more blogs, the more qualification you start. It's why it's so hard for people that are part-time to make a lot of money in other companies. Here, anybody, you can find, or somebody find in the group, one superstar on one side, as there's a lot of volume. Then you have one more leg to build. Another person come in, and then any person can get to the higher volumes as long as they are consistent. Consistency and persistency and never quit. That's or never give up. But what I mean, that's the beautiful thing about this pay plan. It's why it's for everybody, but even for the top leader that is good, that he or she can sponsor 100 people across the line, they can go to the top, but it's stress out. And for those of you that have been in business before, it's a stress out because you say, holy cow, I have to keep certain amount of people, 10 people, for example, a certain ranking. If I don't do it, then I'm going to lose money this month. And I had to start from zero next. You don't have those challenges here at all. You just have two legs. And if you don't get the volume, the volume on the other side to get the full commission, the volume wait for you. The other thing that nobody have passed you. Let's suppose that this person become a superstar and you still are trying to build the other leg, that person never is going to pass you. In other words, they're not going to take that person out of the organization like happened in other companies. As soon as a leader become a super leader, they move that person away if you are not at the same rank or at certain rank to keep that person out. Here, that never happened. You keep all your team under you, you keep your volume as soon as you are active, and that's why it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. It's very simple, and only two legs to build. Very simple. Nothing magical or anything like that or crazy. And that's what I call the cycle. This is the first thing that when I saw it the first time, I have a hard time understand it because we never use cycles. But the fact that it's on limited levels, I can have a person coming very deep, 100 levels down there, and that volume start counting too. Doesn't matter 100, 150, doesn't matter a million or something like that. It's why this pay plan is ideal for new people that never, or people that are starting part-time, and for leaders, because it keeps you out of that stress to keeping all those leaders active that you need another pay plans to get paid the most levels possible. And it's so sad that a person that was in people that are in other plants, and I discovered that many, many years ago, they were calling me and they were giving me products. And that, the first time I saw it when I was in the other company, somebody from Zango, he said, I'm going to send you like $500 in products. And I didn't know why he was doing that. Why? Because he had to keep his position, his rank, and he has to have certain volumes. And then he many times, in order to make certain amount of money or get the rank that he has to buy extra products just to stay in that rank. And he was doing it every month. That's not fun. That's not fun at all. Here you are active and you keep accumulating volume. This is the beautiful thing about this plan. Okay, let me stop sharing here. And this is the first part. This is the pay plan of the cycles. And again, the income is tremendous. And that's the kind of pay plan that I had in the other company. I have also binary. I have two legs. But the maximum that they pay was 13.5. Here's 27,000. It's twice exactly. And they didn't have the next part that if we would have had it in the other company, I would have had a machine and thousands of people. But this is the cycle, very simple. And by the way, people say, well, I have two legs. Where do I put the people? If you have a leg that's stronger than the other one, when I mean if one leg has more volume than the other one, guess what? It's simple. Put it on the opposite side. It's not something that you have to go to, I don't science class or anything like that to learn it. Very simple. When you have one strong leg, then you put people on the other side. Now, this is so cool. The computer is already set up for automatic. When somebody signs in your website, automatic is going to put that person in the leg that has the less volume. Automatic. You don't have even to do it. This is the cool thing. But most people, most of us put the person in the computer, but you don't have even to do it. The computer does it by itself. That's so darn cool. The next part, and that's the part that excited me the most because it was new to me now that we are here in three, is in the other company, like I said, we have a binary. And I was happy. I was getting paid every week. I was paying my biggest check was 20,000 in a week. And I was super excited. Oh, God, that's a lot of money. It's around $1 million a year. But then things start changing, etc. And when we got in three, I understood the binary right away because that's what I had before. But what I didn't know was the next one. And the next one is super cool. I'm gonna I'm gonna share my screen. All right. Let me move here because I cannot see. Okay. And this is the matching bonus. Matching bonus is very simple. What it means is When somebody that you sponsor make money, you make money. Now you have to have a rank, 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, and that's something that we are doing a video for the first 3 stars. It's very simple, by the way. It's based mostly in volume, and it's so easy. For example, for the 3 star, and the only thing that they give you 52 weeks to qualify for 3 star, 52 weeks. And you need only 3,600 points in volume and 6 people, but 3,600 total volume. And you don't have to do it in the same week. You can do it spread out in 52 weeks. That, by the way, in some way, although it's cool, I wish we had it shorter because that created urgency. But many people come in, oh, I have 52 weeks to qualify. No, you do it as fast as you want. You can. But anyway, what it means is that I'm going to go to the next slide because it's actually the one that showed the best. I'm going to erase this. Oh, I forgot to erase it from the presentation. Okay. L1s are people that you personally bring into the team. This is like having a second pay plan. Remember, we had the binary, 2 legs. But then the company keeps track of everybody that you sponsor. Those are your L1. All the people that they sponsor, those are the L2. All the people that L2 sponsor, that's L3, all the way down. Now, something that like about this is many companies, doesn't matter which one, the one that was before, it could be Mary Kay, it could be, people sometimes sponsor a super leader, but cannot find the other person to keep making money. And then like in breakaways, you lose that person forever. Or like in binary, you have one leg going crazy, but the other one is not going crazy. You are having only 1 or 2 cycles a week. But then the other side, you have a super leader that is making 10, 20, 30,000 a month, and you're not getting anything. It's the volume to complete.
Both fixed, and we're going to get the microwave.
Okay. Hold on. Make sure you
The microwave.
mute yourself because I can hear you.
Oh, well,
Okay.
what was that?
Okay. All right. Okay. Just mute it. All right. Anyway, let me go back here. Okay. Here, actually, because this is, I like because the graphic is there and explain it better. All right. Then what happened is, then you have a superstar in one leg and the other one is barely, and then you're cycling 1 or 2 a week. But what if, and you sponsor that superstar, I say, gosh, I sponsor that person, I'm making only X nothing. Now, and that applies for every pay plan. Another pay plan, the person pass you, they take it away from you, or you are only get paid 1 or 2 levels, but you can't get other legs to go. Here, remember, you're accumulating the volume. You're not losing the volume. That's a cool thing. You still can eventually catch up or start. But what if they pay you a margin on that person? A friend of mine, that I invited him to the call today, but he couldn't be there. He was the first person that I saw that did that. I was in New Skin, and he sponsored a woman that became one of the top leaders in New Skin. In fact, since 1992, she earned over $100 million. She got the rank of executive before him, and he lost her forever. Since 1992, he didn't make 1 penny from her. At the beginning, he did because she was new. That woman had made over $100 million, and didn't make anything on her. What if that woman was here? She made $100 million. I'm going to put that number. I love the. Let me put the commas because I don't see it. He would have been paid $30 million because he sponsored that leader. I just put in the example. Of course, this is a big example and doesn't happen all the time. But what happens all the time is that people sometimes sponsor somebody that's going better, and then you are not getting the benefits after a while. Here, if you sponsor one person, suppose one person, that person make $1,000, guess what? The company sends you a match. Why the matches exist? For 2 reasons. Benefit from the company. People get excited because they are making more money. Benefit from our side, from ourselves. We get excited because we're making money. Another benefit for the company, there are less orphans. In other words, people are working with any leg because they have people there. Benefit for us, we have more people building. And this is so darn powerful. And because you have a person making $1,000 a week, that person for sure have people making money. Let's suppose that is $400. By the way, you can make more money than the upline. And that's another $300 that you're making. Those people, if you're making $400, you have people making money under you. Let's suppose that's 12 people are making, I don't know, I just guessing numbers. That's another $300. By the way, I didn't do it on purpose, and all of them was 300. That's a total 900 extra dollars that you're getting paid every week. Now, what if you have like 5 people doing that? And then you, of course, 5 each one, 20, 5, 4 is, and those 4 each one, 4 is 80 new people in the third. And by the way, I know doing L4, 5, 6, and 7. That's a $4,700 extra per week because you have 5 people making some money. It doesn't matter in what leg they are, but that's the cool thing. You are getting a matching bonus. What if you sponsor a person that become a superstar? Again, one person and is making $1 million a year. That's 100,000. Okay, $1 million. The company is paying you for that person $300,000. This is cool. When you're getting in a commission at other levels, a person is making $1 million. Personally, they have at least 10 people making money, but let's suppose that, I don't know, it's 400,000 each one. That's a $4 million commission that they are making. You're getting another 600,000. And those 10 people, they're making, if you're making $400,000, you have tons of people making money, but let's put 5 each one. Excuse me, 5 each one would be 50. And let's suppose that what they're making is 250,000. Again, I like that number. I don't know why. Just in 3 levels. Wow. What did they do? Oh, I have 50 people. Okay. Yeah, because the number is huge. I just realized that. Even if it's, let's put only 20 people, still it's over $1 million. Wow. I love this. This is paid weekly. And that's the back end of the pay plan. Let me tell you what I mean for that. Front end is the PIB, is the affiliate marketing or the retail sales that you get paid right away. The middle is the binary where you start creating that income, residual income. People start coming in and you're getting income from cycles. And then you have the back end, that the back end paying very well when you have leaders in your team that start building. In other words, we have the 3. On top of that, we have trips, and I'm not going to go to the trips, but that's the power of this pay plan. It's powerful and simple. I don't want to use the words easy, but it's simple. Just 2 legs to build, and they reward you by teaching others to do the same and making money. But you just have 2 legs. And then when one of those legs go crazy, then you have just 1 more leg, and that's it. You don't have to have 10 directors or 10 executives or 15 executives like was in New Skin for a Blue Diamond. You don't have to have directors. You don't have to have directs, like they call it in Amway, a bunch of them to go deep into your, up to 7 levels, because they go only, the people, like the companies that go the deepest that I know of, 7 levels down. Mary goes only 3 levels. The same that Amway and Herbalife, I think they make a change there. But we are unlimited levels. And I know you've been talking about the 3% bonus, global bonus, or all the other bonuses. The reason I talk about this is because is where we have control. We win people. We sell products. We sell. There's control. We have the control. We make money. We sign somebody up, PIB. We get control. We get money. We have people on both sides. We are helping them to come into the business. We get cycles. We have control. We make money. And then because we help that people to make money, we get a matching bonus. We control that. We make money. And eventually, the number 3 and 4, that is the cycles and the matching, become residual because people are buying every month or every week or whatever. People are bringing new people. You are getting matching bonus every week. You are getting cycles every week, and eventually can become an incredible, incredible income. You can go away for 6 months after you have built the organization. Obviously, you are not selling anybody. You are not signing up everybody. Those are the first 2 levels: retailing something or signing up somebody. But you have the cycles, and you have the matching bonus coming every week. And that's where most of the money is. By the way, the 3% bonus, global bonus, also comes every week, but you don't have control in the sense because it depends on so many things, how much it's going to be, etc. But this, you have control. This is the beauty of the pay plan. And it's why I'm so fanatic with it. And it's why I sometimes get upset with especially my friends. I'm very direct. I said, guys, you have to put it your action because we have a gold mine. We're in a company that's less than 5 years old. Nobody knows that about the company. And by the way, those are the best years to come in when you want to create an income that is going to be more solid. That doesn't mean that somebody that comes in 2030, just to put a year, 5 years from now, is not going to make money. They can make money, they can get received, etc. But because we are the first ones, we are going to have the deepest roots of the payplan.